I have a very, very, very sad history of abuse. Um, Not just abuse, like violence. Like it was really violent. It started when I was 7. Started with my dad. My dad sexually abused me. At that time, I did not even know what abuse was. I know it hurt. I know I felt pains. There were times when I couldn't sleep because of all the pain. I did not even know what it was doing to me was wrong. And so I took it. I remember trying to tell my mom, and she just never had my time. She was busy. She was always busy. They say a person's first friends are her family members. I did not have that. For me, the people that were supposed to build me were the ones that broke me. I used to hate my mom a lot. Yeah, I used to beat the crap out of her. And we were all too small. I and my siblings were too small to do anything about it at that time. There was the sexual abuse too, and that just went on and went on until I was old enough to know what abuse was. And even then, because it had gone on for years, it was like I got used to my chains. I knew what abuse was at that point, but I did not know what to do about it. And then it did not help. He used to threaten me a lot. He would tell me how it would hurt my sibling or how he would beat my mom up or something. And then it did not help that I did not know my mom was covering up all those years. It was later into my teenage years that I realized that she knew all along and she had been covering it up for him. It made me become a girl with daddy issues, to cling to anything any man told me later. I still say my mom is very weak because I've seen other mothers walk out on abusive homes and abusive relationships. Until now, I don't know whether I should blame her or not, because she just never spoke out. She would watch her husband hurt her children and she would not do anything about it. She would just keep quiet like nothing was happening. I had a mother, but I still had to be the mother to my own mother. Like after I hit her, I would be the one to clean her up, take her to the clinic, start running around looking for money, begging. I got taken advantage of because of that a lot of times. I can't even count the number. I ran away from home. It wasn't run away per se. I was looking for admission. I thought it was my escape. Finally, after about 3 trials, I got the admission. I did everything. I slept with who I could sleep with. I hopped where I could. I did everything. I raised the money for my acceptance fees and my school fees. So I paid my school fees and I just went to school and I never went back home for a while. An allergic guy like that. So that one would sleep with me, it'd give me money. He introduced me to some other friends of his. So I just became like a professional once babe. It wasn't once babe, it was prostitution. Who am I deceiving? At this point, I had gotten pregnant more than 4 times. Yes, 3 times by my dad. Then the 3rd time by somebody I don't even know because of the way I was living. When I got pregnant, I had not seen my period. I think I was maybe 12. I had not seen my period, so I didn't know what pregnancy was. So 2nd one, I knew what a period was. I knew what pregnancy was. I hid it from everybody until the day my dad was hitting me and he pushed me down the stairs. So that's how that baby went. This clinic he took me to, I remember every single detail. It was not a clinic. Like it was like the man used to sleep there, the hospital man. That's what I called him then. hospital, man. So it was just like a small cubicle, and one side was his mattress. Yeah, like there were dirty clothes piled. Another side, the small table, the stethoscope. Then there were bowls, and there was a small, what do they call it now? A trolley. A small trolley where I kept a couple of stuff. I wasn't going to lay down, and when my dad asked me to lay down, then he said he was going to kill me there. Nobody would know, because apparently I told my mom that we're traveling together. I remember thinking I was worthless. I remember thinking that I had no value. So I laid down and did the abortion, and I was in that house for 3 days. And my dad would go out, then he'd come back late in the evening, and that was when he would bring food for me. He did not give me no anesthesia, no drugs. He was giving me paracetamol alone, and he was feeding me once a day. That was one of the most horrible experiences. Started stripping. I was earning money, and I felt like I knew I needed God, but I just felt like I had gone too far for God, for grace, for all that stuff. So I did not bother. At least I was able to provide better for my family. My mom didn't ask me where I was getting money from. She would just see money and she would just collect it, and she wasn't asking me any questions. So frustrating. At that time, my mom was now calling me that she'd come home, that I had not been home in a long time. She was falling sick, my dad had changed and everything. I went home again, and I thought I was going to like have a normal family. In the prayers I've been praying to God all those years, maybe they had finally started working. And I went home, and my dad welcomed me at first, maybe because he hadn't seen me in a long time. The same day, like that evening, he came again, and he legit tried to force himself on me again. Thank God I was bigger, and thank God I was smarter. At this point I was already street smart. So the way I pushed him, thank God he did not hit his head or die or anything. So I pushed him. I did not even pack any bag. I just ran out of that. Too much. So I was just going to just kill myself that night. So that was the day I was going to go and drown myself at the waterside. And then a few good Samaritans, I just told them snippets of my story, and they felt Genesis House would be the best place for me to go. And so they took me to Genesis House. I felt like a whale thrown into a pond. That was how I felt. It wasn't easy at first, because I just kept getting into fights. But they really helped me. Genesis House helped me. I can't emphasize how much. They helped. I was a mess, like psychologically. I was constantly having dreams, and I was just a mess. My head was filled with all sorts of thoughts of horrible things and thoughts of my past. But through Genesis House, God dealt with that for me. You know, we had this doctor come in, Dr. Ndupu. She was my favorite. So she was always coming. She used to talk to me, and the director was always talking to me. The counselor was always talking to me. Everybody was talking to me, and they were all willing to help me. I met people. It was very beautiful. Eventually, I learned to love myself, and I learned to love God, and that was the biggest thing Genesis House gave me. That was the biggest gift Genesis House gave me, and that was like the beginning of my journey to becoming a better person. So now, at this point in my life, I'm in a really good place, emotionally, physically, financially too. God has been so faithful to me.